Dedicated to Keaton Belliston. I just want to let the colors of the world bleed out, for they have become red with the stain of a nation killed from inside out by the people who seldom give what they require of everyone else. To take the red from the candles and put the Olympic fires of eternity out for a minute to give the beat of solidarity back to the streets turned into battlefields camouflaged by the millions of silent cities as they burn the nameless nation polarized by the red and stains it black, giving the triumphant an inconsequential existence, taken by the trepidation as it pours the morality of our vacant manifested ideologies as the complex infrastructure breaks in two over the remains of what the Freemasons built, where we cause the skies to fall, and it compressed the world. Pangea becomes the alteration that rewards my feet once met by an unadorned flag raised by dissidents of a place that no one shall ever call home. To the end I walk as the red flag falls, and I see the rhetoric of the sun for the first time as the colors bleed from the reborn sky and the unstained miles. A piece of me sees the new, and a part of me sees the bold in actuality to where I am and live, even if a world unfit. I am momentary and too contemporary to let my down fill up with red before I fall, and the moments that comprise me part this world, giving flight to the subdued color that subsides in me. What is this color that is dormant and dejected for so long, envious to erect my forlorn actuality, to feel forsaken in a hapless existence that never seems to falter, no matter how benevolent I am? But I've been taken away from my self-loathing eternality that was spreading pervasively like a virus, rendering desolation a hyperbolic duality, the darkness quantified and metamorphosed, once congenital, into a manifesto of obscurity. Only the morality of the soul, and with it, its counterpart, true love, remain. Rapture and veneration for those who still inhabit the pungent, barren reality where unjust blood forces its way through their veins and creates desolation through the obscure confines of what maintains the only fibers holding the buildings built on spindles of threads meant for someone else. But this is not what drives the string to break, the string that held the world on its own for so long in interregnum. The string with time grew thin and began to dissipate, the reverence comprising it and rapture consumed the string. As the world collapses into itself, all that was left was silence. The red no longer sustains or resides in the ether. The world had relinquished its retention, and with it, the colors. So do not abbreviate my soul that has abided by a flag of hatred built upon the abrogate of the affluent, given the right to accentuate an amalgamation of a nameless nation that takes lives without apprehension of the importance of the elementary things, perpetually forced aside, like an old man who is just in the way, not knowing the man in the mirror that no longer has a reflection. That coffee in the morning I drink without diligence, of the sunsets I consume by a world thought impervious to desolation, to the land I awake knowing it will support me without question, to the sky that weighs me down, to this place that I call home, to the unknown soldier's grave unnoticed next to a superhighway, where there is a fold in my shirt or a crease in the universe, or a misplaced particle divided into its secular molecules, as my book quantifies a layer of dust from which my allergies are derived. But the letter I sent to a man with no name, to a country that does not exist, with a flag that is half-mast over a city without a skyline, where there are no rights and wrongs, just ups and downs, where a prick is more than just a needle piercing my skin, as the blood flows slowly from my beating heart that elucidates the boulevard of broken dreams, that my sleepwalking soul retains its reality of falling up and climbing sidewalks, where love is true, but truth is not love, to every time sense was not common, or logic seemed illogical, or when doing what was right, seemed to question my morals. With a fallacious fate of a claymore without a trigger, a single step can change everything, from a bullet to a landmine. But to this ideal that nothing can save me, what I did over my life will be what truly denotes who I am, even though I am austerely momentary. Before me and this world diverge, I long to see it all, to escape this reality, or duality, of a harbored fate. As I scrutinize from below, I am tenacious to burn this city just to show you the conciliatory light as it falls before me. I put my teardrops on ice. From my conception, I have had a sunset in my veins that is not a transient, but venerable, and dictates me by saying, "You are not going down, you are just growing up." So never capitulate to the inevitable, only give in, asphyxiate in myself, as my paranoia constructs the portrait that is my life derived through the thoughtless contortions of the orator of my soul, who is a man in a mask standing in the rain, who looks me straight in my eyes and says, "Never fall asleep, you will not wake up." But this is not a dream or a threat, but a poem, and because I am reading it, you still have time to save myself, because through it all,